Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, and today we're taking another cheeky look at Cardano and specifically selling Bitcoin to increase Cardano positions. This sounds familiar, Chris.
It does. It does.
Right. So today, guys, we have this it's interesting piece of news that's just come across our desks here, talking all about a investment fund that's ditching $750 million worth of Bitcoin in favor of Cardano and Polkadot. So let's get into this in a moment and see exactly what's going on there, because I think it's basically, I think what we're going to see a lot more of now, Chris. I think a lot more people will potentially be now leaving some of those higher, areas such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, and maybe starting to venture into some of these other ones, such as Cardano, Polkadot, etc. So, guys, if you do find this video useful, then do go ahead and smash that like button. Chris appreciates it. I appreciate it, and secretly, we all know that you appreciate it too. And of course, you can treat yourselves by subscribing if you haven't done so yet. By doing so, you'll be kept up to date with all of the videos, live streams, and even the premieres that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And Chris, it would not be a Cardano video if we didn't mention the Cheeky Crypto Cardano staking pool.
Yeah, so the pool's now, well, it's now at 6.7 million ADA delegated. So thank you to everybody that's delegated to the cheek pool. We're minting now, which is great. So we're seeing some juicy rewards. If you're interested in having a look at the data, just go have a look at the pool. It's got all the different metrics on there for you to review. But yeah, you can delegate your ADA to the cheek pool using the ticker cheek, and you can do this through the numerous amounts of wallets, Nick. ADA Lite, Atomic, and the Ori and Deadliest wallet, which I probably just said wrong, but you get used to it when I always say it wrong.
Fantastic. Right, let's jump on over to the desktop, Chris, and take a look at this fantastic news.
Super, let's do it.
Yeah, so Global Crypto Investment Fund, FD7 Ventures, to basically sell $750 million worth of Bitcoin to increase their Cardano and Polkadot holdings. So, Business Wire have reported on this. This is a Dubai-based FD7 Ventures. This is a global crypto investment fund with $1 billion under management. They announced today they plan to sell $750 million worth of their Bitcoin holdings over the next 30 days to increase the company's position in Cardano and Polkadot. Okay, the move will effectively sell off a majority of the company's Bitcoin holdings to purchase rising projects, Cardano and Polkadot. According to the company, the increase in these altcoin holdings will better serve the needs of the FD7 investors who are looking to diversify their portfolios in the growing cryptocurrency space. And I think this is absolutely fantastic. It's kind of what we've been saying and talking about for a while, Chris. It's Bitcoin has a good use case that's kind of become apparent. It's kind of the opposite of what they wanted, but basically, it's becoming a bit of a hedge, a bit of a store of value for some of these institutions. So, which is what's given it that $1 trillion valuation currently. And because of that, it's no longer really viable to do transactions on it. It costs far too much to do those everyday transactions using Bitcoin. So some of these other projects are absolutely key. The third generation blockchains are absolutely key to the future of this space. And I think we're going to see more of this from funds where they're actually leaving Bitcoin to go into some of these altcoins because they are still young, they're in their infancy, and they have a lot of growth in them. So Bitcoin can only grow so far and so fast, right? Whereas Cardano and Polkadot could explode very, very fast. And therefore, you're going to be massive gains to be made, specifically for these investment funds. So I think this is a really important step that we're seeing here. And aside from the fact, Chris, that Bitcoin was the first to market so basically, society has given its meaning as a store of value. I think Bitcoin is, actually pretty useless, and I totally agree with that. And this comes from the managing director of FD7 Ventures. I believe it is utterly useless, other than a store of value. So if you have value to store, go for Bitcoin. Absolutely, get that, not a problem. But if you actually want some kind of cryptocurrency that you want to utilize, Bitcoin just isn't going to do that for you. But ultimately, projects such as Cardano, Polkadot, Ethereum are the foundation of the new internet and Web 3.0. Now, I agree Cardano and Polkadot definitely are part of that Web 3.0. I think Ethereum is struggling to be a part of the future. We'll have to see how 2.0 on Ethereum goes, Chris, because if they don't nail that thing, they're in trouble. They're in big trouble. But Cardano, Polkadot, absolutely can see that as part of Web 3.0. For those who do not know what Web 3.0 is, definitely do some research on that. That's a rabbit hole you want to go down, trust me. So moving on from this article, Chris, we can see that the founder of Cardano, this is Charles Hoskinson, and the founder of Polkadot, Dr. Gavin Wood, are considered to be two of the brightest minds in the crypto development space today, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. Definitely two individuals you want to be paying attention to when they speak, for sure. I think Charles has done TED Talks as well. I'm not sure if Gavin Wood, maybe he has. I'll call that one if he has. Do let us know in the comments. But yeah, both figures were part of the original 7 co-founders of Ethereum. So insider knowledge has definitely had an advantage to build in both Cardano and Polkadot. So you can see exactly what's going on there. In their current roles, Hoskinson and Wood lead projects that are regarded as having the potential for significant worldwide impact. Cardano's ADA team is working towards a blockchain solution to address the needs of millions of unbanked individuals in Africa and other countries, while Polkadot continues to build out an ecosystem of moonshot projects that enable a fully decentralized platform for Web3. This is where basically users are in control. So both of these projects are absolutely crucial to the future, and you really have to be paying attention to and make sure you kind of do your own research into them. Absolutely. We talk a lot about Cardano, not so much Polkadot. We would love to talk more Polkadot, but it seems that our viewers are not as interested in Polkadot as they are Cardano, but definitely worth checking out Polkadot for sure. And here's another quote, right, from that managing director at FD7. He says, "I've been lucky enough to spend a lot of time, lots of time with the brightest minds in crypto, and I'm willing to bet that each Ethereum, Cardano, and Polkadot will be more valuable than Bitcoin within the next few years." And that's his direct quote. I think that's a bit of a stretch because we are seeing stores of value being put into Bitcoin, but what happens when you don't need to store that value anymore? Big questions are around that kind of gap in knowledge there. But FD7 Ventures, Chris, have already begun the process of converting their Bitcoin to Cardano and Polkadot and expect to complete the conversion transactions by mid to end of March. I bet a lot of that, Chris, is probably down to low transaction speeds on Bitcoin's behalf, maybe, and demand and all that kind of stuff. You can't just flood the market. You've got to keep the price relatively stable. But we're expecting 750 million Bitcoin to come off their market cap and to potentially move over to Cardano and Polkadot. So really good stuff happening in that space. Anything you want to add to this article before we jump over to the charts, Chris?
Just that I think it's a sign of what we've been talking about, right? We're starting to see like mainstream adoption. So for me, it's a positive step. And I kind of feel like we're going to start to see more of this. And we discuss this regularly on our live streams, don't we, Nick?
We do, yeah, absolutely. So let's get into the charts, right? So here we are, Cardano to the USD on the daily. Here we have the Fibonacci from, I'm just going to quickly here, just correct that to the low level there. Low level of the 28th of January, and the high level here is on the 11th of February. We had that rally up, we had the cooling off, hitting the 618, moving on up, coming back down, testing the 786, and then moving back up. We have now got this kind of wedge pattern formed here. That within the next kind of 4 days, I anticipate that we'll be moving on out of here if it doesn't happen beforehand. So 4 days is probably the maximum. If it really turned, sour, then we might get that 5th day squeezed in there. But I think ultimately this thing is going to start shooting to all-time high levels within the next 4 to 5 days for sure. We can see the volume are decreasing here, Chris, daily. They did have a 3-day rise and a 3-day decline. So we have got that going on. The volumes, we're no longer overbought on the ADA token. That's now nice and comfortably below the 70 zone on this daily chart. So there's plenty of scope here to continue that moving up. But let's go ahead and pull this down into a 4-hourly chart. 4-hourly chart is going to show us a little bit more of that granular detail that we need to see here. From here, we can see how that volume spiked up, came down, spiked up, and come down nicely. That volume coming down nicely has really protected the price quite nicely here. So we've traded sideways. with a decreasing volume whilst we've been maintaining a corrected RSI. This is just above 50, so lots of potential to the upside here. Ideally, it would be nice to get it a little bit lower, so maybe we can get another retest like we did down here on that 7, I think that's actually the high level here, the 96.7 cent area. If we can get that test down here, that would correct this RSI nicely towards 40. That would give us a nice shot to the upside, where hopefully that volume will really kick in as well. So really interested to see how that plays out. I think we've gone, like I said before, a limited amount of time now before this thing really hits that all-time high level. So really watching that space. On this 4-hourly chart, it's all looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and pull that down into a 1-hour chart. On the 1 hour here, we can see the granular detail of what's going on. The trading sideways here, right on that upper limit of that upper bar. We can see how that volume was spiking up, coming down, spiking up, and actually coming down still decreasing on the volume side whilst maintaining the price. It's just really nice to see. And the RSI is slightly higher on this hourly chart than we might like it to be, slightly above 50 here, but still plenty of space to come up to that overbought area as needed. In an ideal world, we would actually potentially come back down, test this area here for a moment, and that will correct the RSI. With that volume being nice and low at that point, we could really see that volume spike, which will really correct our RSI to the upside here, become overbought, and really push that price to that all-time high. That's kind of what we're looking for here. We're trying to get this corrected down towards 40. We're trying to see that volume nice and low when we're down here at 40. When that happens between 40 and 30, we're going to see that volume suddenly spike up because it's going to trigger a lot of buy orders, and we're going to see that moonshot happen. And it's going to be good, Chris, because I think all-time high is literally just days away at this point. So really want to watch that. So yeah, in summary, Chris, I think we are within like the 4 to 5 days maximum kind of range to know exactly how this triangular wedge is forming and how it's going to actually play out. I think it's going to go up because the RSI is in a good place, the volumes are going in a good place. I think by the time this thing's all ready to launch, Chris, I think it's going to be an all-time high shot. I think we're going to pass straight through this this barrier that we have currently, and we'll hit that $1.33. That's the all-time high. Once we pass that, I think it's going to be a bit of a feeding frenzy. We're going to see volumes increasing. We're going to see the RSI in overbought status, and we're going to be pushing up to the first price point, which is $1.37. I think we're going to get past that. And I think we have a good shot at that $2 range within the next week or so. I think we're really going to be pushing for it during the month of March. I wouldn't be too surprised, Chris, if we hit $3 in March as well, with the fantastic stuff going on with Cardano. So definitely one to watch out for, guys. I think there's huge potential in this project, in the short term as well as the long term. But Chris, any of your final thoughts you want to leave with, guys?
Just, yeah, similar to you, I kind of expect this to blossom over the next 4 weeks. It's going to be immense. That the stuff that I'm hearing, the stuff that we're going to be covering is going to be epic. I'm really excited about March.
Absolutely. So guys, if you have found this useful, informative, go ahead and smash that like button. Chris really appreciates it. I really appreciate it. And I like to think that you do too. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you have not yet subscribed, treat yourself. Become a subscriber here at Cheeky Crypto. By doing so, we'll keep you up to date with all the videos, the live streams, the premieres, and keep you well up to date with your crypto assets, news and chart analysis. So yeah, why not? And with all that said and done, Chris, we hope everyone has a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.